let's say we had f of x is equal to minus 10x squared minus 9x plus 1. Well, when I look at this, even if I were divided by 10, I would get some fractions here. It's very hard to imagine factoring this quadratic, and that's why it's actually called a quadratic equation, or this second degree polynomial. But let's set it, so we're trying to solve this, because we want to find out when it equals 0. Minus 10x squared minus 9x plus 1. We want to find out what x values make this equation equal to 0. And here we can use a tool called the quadratic equation. And now I'm going to give you one of the few things in math that's probably a good idea to memorize. The quadratic equation says that the roots of a quadratic are equal to, and let's say that the quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So in this example, a is minus 10, b is minus 9, and c is 1. The formula is the roots x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all of that over 2a. I know that looks complicated, but the more you use it, you'll see it's actually not that bad, and this is a good idea to memorize. So let's apply the quadratic equation to this equation that we just wrote down. So I just said, and look, a is just the coefficient on the x term, right? b is just the coefficient, a is the coefficient on the x squared term, b is the coefficient on the x term, and c is the constant. So let's apply it to this equation. What's b? Well, b is negative 9, right? You can see here. b is negative 9, a is negative 10, c is 1, right? So b is negative 9, so let's say that's negative 9 plus or minus the square root of negative 9 squared, well that's 81, minus 4 times a is minus 10, minus 10 times c, which is 1. I know this is messy, but hopefully you're understanding it. And all of that over 2 times a. Well, a is minus 10, so 2 times a is minus 20, right? So let's simplify that. Negative times negative 9, that's positive 9, plus or minus the square root of 81. We have a negative 4 times a negative 10. This is a minus 10. I know it's very messy. I really apologize for that. Times 1. So negative 4 times negative 10 is 40, positive 40. Positive 40. And then we have all of that over negative 20. Well, 81 plus 40 is 121. So this is 9 plus or minus the square root of 121 over minus 20. Square root of 121 is 11. So I'll go here. Hope I don't lose track of what I'm doing. This is 9 plus or minus 11 over minus 20. And so if we said 9 plus 11 over minus 20, that is 9 plus 11 is 20, so it's 20 over minus 20, which equals negative 1. So that's one root. That's 9 plus, because this is plus or minus. And then the other root would be 9 minus 11 over negative 20, which equals minus 2 over minus 20, which equals 1 over 10. So that's the other root.